Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another retro gaming review. And following on from my recent Skool Daze review, this time I'm bringing you its sequel, Back to School. Now, unlike the previous game, which came out on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum and the Commodore 64, Back to School was unfortunately unique to the Spectrum. Or, to the best of my knowledge, it never came out on the C64. I'm just going to let this countdown timer run out. It's on second thoughts, maybe I won't. So as you can see, the characters are exactly the same as before. Well, you'll see that the characters are the same as before, with some additional ones that weren't in the previous games. There's Mr. Withit, who you may remember was also in the previous game. Science Master, same as before. Mr. Rocket. As in the previous game, you can rename all of the significant characters. However, unlike the previous game, you can only do it once. History Master, Mr. Creek. Once the game's actually begun, you cannot change anything. Here's a new character, Mistake, the Headmistress. Unlike in the previous game, which was confined to one school, that in Back to School you can actually go outside and there's also a nearby girls' school, and Mistake is in charge of that school. And another new character, the Caretaker, Albert. He's responsible for making sure that amongst other things, that the school gates between the two schools are shut during lessons. The tearaway, same as in the previous game, just as annoying. The bully, Angel Face, same as before. The SWAT, Einstein, again same as before. As in the previous game, you always go to the same classes as him, so be very wary about skipping classes because he'll grass you up just like he did in the previous game. And here's the heroine, Haley. Now she plays a pivotal role because you could, in this game, if you can actually convince her to do some of Eric's lines for him. And speaking of the devil, here's Eric. Here's the character we control. Again, same as before with some additional. The controls are the same as before with some additional ones unique to this sequel. That was just a demo mode. That isn't a glitch. Right, now we're in gameplay mode. Now, over here is the girls' school, and there's Haley behind me, and here are the unnamed regular girls. Now, it's worth pointing out, under no circumstances are boys allowed in this school. As you see there, you get bollocks if you're caught in the girls' school. But I have to do this because I have to open each one of these desks. To do that, you sit down and either press left on the joystick or press O to open, which just happens to be the left control when on keys, because the keys are just QAOP, and you hold down Shift to sprint. Now, the reason you're doing this is because one desk will have a water pistol in it, and one desk will have 3 stink bombs in it. Right, so all of the desks in this girls' school are empty. There's Boy Wonder. Now I'm just going to time it search. Mistake has her back to me when I exit, like that. Of course, none of the other boys get bollocks in that way, but then that's typical. So now I've just got to search. That's the gate I was telling you about between those two schools. Albert closes that once all the boys are in the school during class time. And then you can see there the other teachers. Different school this time. So just going to check all the desks in these classrooms. As in the previous game, when it's playtime, as it says at the bottom of the screen, I'm not supposed to be in any of the... Well, since I'm in this room, I may as well quickly check these desks. Notice you can actually see the desk. Ah, there's the water pistol. And there are the stink bombs. So the stink bombs are limited in number. The water pistol never actually runs out. And you can actually see, if you look down on the floor in the library there, you can actually see a mouse crawling around. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's quite hard to catch these mice. Come on, mouse. I'll have to get the mouse in a moment. Now I don't need to check any of these desks because I now know which desk contains the stink bombs. And now you may remember in the previous game there was a problem where if a boy sat on the same seat that you're on, you'd get pushed off, and that left you in danger of getting lines from the teacher that happened to catch you doing it. They always fall off, and you're impervious to that in this game, but it actually later transpired that that's actually a bug. Although in this instance I actually don't mind that bug because it makes the game far less irritating. Right, I've got that mouse. You can now see it in my inventory in the bottom middle of the screen. You can carry several mice, so now I'm just following all the boys because we got assembly. This is something else that's new. Now, I'm going to fill these cups with water. The reason I'm doing that is that if you manage to knock water onto a teacher's head, they'll give you a number for the combination lock of the bike that's chained to the tree outside. And that actually does come in useful later. What is interesting, although you can hit boys like you could in the previous game, it actually made a sound in the previous game, whereas it doesn't in this. Now that's one thing that's kind of annoying about this game. This is the one time you're allowed to sit on the floor. But until you actually get lines saying sit facing the stage for the first time, you wouldn't actually know that you needed to do that. So it is a bit of an irritation that it does that. Now another thing you can do with the water pistol is see those pots that are next to those windows. They're plant pots, and you can actually get a flower to grow out of them. Why would you want to do that? Well, if you let a stink bomb off next to in one of those two rooms when the headmaster is actually close to one of those windows, he'll open it, and that'll mean you. I got 500 lines there because Angel Face got into trouble. Right, so I now know Mr. Rocket's number for the combination lock. However, one thing I found out quite by chance when I played this is that the combination is always in the same order. It's always Mr. Creek, then Mr. Rocket, then Mr. Withit, then Mr. Whacker. Always. Interesting. I thought the plural of cherub was cherubim. Never mind. Pretty nice graphics in this. strangely simple yet complex at the same time. Although in this science lab you can see not quite as good use of colour, because there's a little bit of colour clash on the revision. This is a good time to try and get Mr. Whacker while he's wandering about. In this game, he tends to spend so much time confined to his staff rooms. Yes! So I've got Mr. Whacker's number. Just as in the previous game, revision is not one we actually have to be there. One minute, I'll try and catch that mouse that's on this. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Right, there's not a lot I can do about that. Right, I've just dropped a stick bomb. Hopefully he'll open that window. Yes! Oh, damn, I wanted him to go down the stairs. There's another mouse here. As I was saying earlier, it's a bit of a cliche, really, but... Right, playtime. Come on, open that. No, did you notice that, Albert? Now I'm going to show you what the whole point of opening these windows. Because the idea is what... So I couldn't actually show you that because Mr. Whacker was coming down the stairs and I'm trying not to get too many lines. I've already got 3,400. Notice the rugby pitch in the background. Come on. Come on, Albert, hurry up. Right, I'm pressing K to try and kiss Hayley. Come on. Yes! As you can see, my number of lines has dropped from 3,400 to 2,400. Yeah, I've got it down a bit more. Now, I can only do that a certain number of times. I think it's about 5 or 6. If I do it any more than that, then unfortunately, she'll just clock you one and knock you down instead, but complaining that you gave her too much work to do. So be very choosy about doing it too often. Now, it's worth pointing out that I was made aware of a couple of other more bugs in this game, which can be a little bit on the irritating side. One is you absolutely must not go up against the far left wall of the boys' school and then face right and fire the water pistol, because otherwise a bug in the program causes the screen to scroll, and until there's a playtime in which you can go back to go into the girls' school, you'll not be able to right that bug. I mean, literally the only advantage of that is you won't be told off for not being in classes, because you can only be told off and given lines if you're actually on screen, and you won't be. The only downside is you'll only be able to hear yourself walking. Well, at least I should get Mr. Creek's number for this. Yes. I just need Mr. Wither's number, and then I can... Still got a little bit of time before Mr. Rocket gets to that science lab. Oh, flipping hell, boy wonder, you pain in the arse. That's going to cost me some more time. Now I've got to wait for Mr. Withit to get up again. Damn it, missed him. He was too far away. Oh no. Yeah, that happened because I'm not in class. And yeah, as you probably guessed, Einstein grasped on me for not being in the blue room. There's actually another bug in this room. Unlike in the previous game, there's no class in which you have to actually gain knowledge in order to continue gameplay. Remember, I mentioned that in the previous one you had to find out Mr. Creek's year of birth, and you could only find that out when he asked certain questions in a class. Yeah, I was mentioning there's another bug in this room where if I were to walk out the class while Mr. Creek was wiping the board, I'd run into the library and wait for the SWAT to grasp me up, and then as soon as my name appeared in his speech bubble, I'd return to the blue room. Then Mr. Creek would start wiping the board again, and he'd start trying to walk through the wall. And then if I then scrolled him off screen and then scrolled back in, he would disappear. Now he doesn't actually disappear. What happens is he actually walks through the wall and it sort of wraps around into the girls' school. So it's not like he's gone forever, but it is a little bit of a glitch. So I just need to get Mr. Withit's number, and then I'll be able to unlock the bike. The only thing I'd need for that is a clean blackboard to write down the combination. As I said earlier, the combination is always Mr. Creek's, Mr. Rocket's, Mr. Withit's and Mr. Whacker's. Oh, he had to go that way. He's the only one whose number I need. I really do wonder why this didn't make it onto the Commodore 64. Oh, you absolute git. I want him to walk under those water-filled cups. His is the only number I need. Another thing you can do, you can actually fire water into the central cup. The only downside is you have to time it just right so that the teacher you're in question is going to be underneath as it passes through. Please head to the right as you get at the bottom of the stairs, please. Yes. Oh, just missed him. Please turn around. I just need your number. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to do it this time because I don't really want to get more lines through not being in class on time, because otherwise I'd have the same problem that I did last time, in which I wasn't in the class when it started and Einstein grasped me up. Please, sir, I cannot tell a lie. Eric's not here. Bugger. Actually, I'm going to top up on my stink bombs because I used one earlier. There, now I've got 3 stink bombs again. There's Mr. Withit at the bottom of the screen there. The only teacher whose combination lock number I don't yet know. The reason that you need the bike is that it's a means. There's a cup in the kitchen of the girls' school, and you need to later on when you unlock the room to the right of the science lab where I just was. You'll be able to get a frog from in there, and you need to jump off the saddle of the bike to be able to put the frog in that cup to knock onto Miss Take's head later on. Now, another thing to note about the girls' school is that Miss Take keeps a bottle of sherry in a cupboard in her office, which is in the very top right corner of the girls' school. However, during playtime, she shuts it. She will only have it open when she's sure that all the boys are back in school. Otherwise, she just won't open it. I'm going to see if there are any mice that I can catch around the school while oh damn it, I better be a bit careful because Mr. Whacker might tell me off. Although I don't necessarily have to take part in revision per se, teachers can still tell me off if I'm in the wrong place. As in the previous game, you get 30 points every time you beat up Angel Face. Right. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get Mr. Withit's number when he heads towards the dinner table. Yes, that's just where I need it to be. Oh, damn it, I was too close. Right, I now have the complete combination for the bike. Now, I can't... Actually, I'm going to quickly write it on that blackboard in the science lab. Hopefully I'll get enough time to do that. 4, 2, 2, 2. There, the bike is now unlocked. As I said, I put Mr. Creek's number first, then Mr. Rocket's, then Mr. Withit's, and then Mr. Whacker's. As in the previous game, there is a little bit of slowdown when there are a lot of children on the screen. And I also have to be a bit careful as ever because while I'm in lunch break, there's still a danger of Angel Face beating me up and giving me lines for being on the floor, which can still happen even in this game. Which is why I tend to face away from the crowd like I'm currently at. Because, as in the previous game, you can only be knocked out with Angel Face's punches if you're actually facing him. Right. Another thing I'm going to do is notice how the bike's now right. Now, to use the bike, you press M to mount it, and then you just either press O and P repeatedly in a waggling fashion, or you waggle the joystick left and right if you're using that for control. Another note about Albert: you cannot knock him out with the catapult. The only way to knock him out is and when you pedalled enough that you can actually stand on the saddle like that. You either press up on the joystick to do that, or see there's a mouse on that that middle floor. Now that's why those girls in Mistake were jumping about like that just then, because they're all scared of mice. Bit of slow down there. Oh, sugar. See, they've caught sight of that mouse, so they're scared witless. Even Haley is scared of the mouse. Come on, mousey, mousey, get over here. Oh, this is going to be awkward. I'm going to have to... Oh, goodness me. Got it. You bitch. Yeah, all right. Give me a chance. And of course, now she's going to follow me because I'm not supposed to be there, which makes sense. Oh, I've got 4,000 lines, and there's no way I'm going to get to Mr. Rocket's class in time. And see how Albert was just waiting for me to get back in the school, which makes sense. Mr. Rocket's going to come raging for me in a moment. See what I mean? Mr. Wacker spends a lot of his time in his room in this game. Yeah, here we go. Just like what happened in the previous game. Right, assembly time. Because what I really want to do is set off a stink bomb on that upper level to get him to get Mr. Wacker to open that window as well. The reason being, in order to be able to escape from the school during class time, you can actually fire your catapult from the upper window and send a conker down to the ground, and if you time it just right, then you'll be able to knock Albert out, and it knocks him out for quite some time. It certainly stays knocked out for longer than if you hit any of the other teachers with a catapult. Okay, we've got an arsonist in the school. I know I'm going to get lines for this, but I don't have a choice. I've got to do this. Oh, shut your yap. Damn, I didn't time it correctly. God. For once, I'm actually glad he did that, because it meant I've got more time to get to the class before Mr. Creek gets to it. So as I was saying, I was mentioning about the sherry bottle that's in Miss Take's cabinet in her room in the girls' school. Now you actually need to get that because if you collect the sherry, then it'll replace all the water in your water pistol with sherry. And why do you want to do that? Because remember the cups I filled with water earlier? Well, if you replace that water with sherry, then and then do the same thing to get you'll get another combination. And if I remember correctly, that combination is the combination to the door that connects to the room adjacent to the science lab, the one I told you about earlier that has the frog in it. And then you'd put that frog in that cup in the girls' school kitchen in the bottom right corner, and then you. No, I'm gonna. Right, I'm just gonna kiss it some more times to get my number of lines down because it's getting a bit high. Positioning of the kiss is a little bit tricky. Oh, blast! Come on, Kaylee, get back here. Ugh. Right. Right, I think that'll do. I've got it down by 2,000, so. And the bike's in the girls' school where I want it to be, so. Come on, Mr. With-It, bugger off. I'm going to catch that mouse that's in this room up here. Come on. Come on, you absolute sod. Thank you. Right. I've just fired water into that plant pot. See the... Oh, sugar lumps. Is he going to come up here? No, thank goodness. Now I've got one more stink bomb, so this has got to be right. Right. I did time that one correctly. Now he's heading towards the window. Now watch this. See that conker that just fell down there. If you manage to get it so that Albert so that it hits Albert on the head as he passes underneath, it's pretty random because Albert doesn't actually go left and right at exactly the same pace over exactly the same area, so it is a bit of guesswork, admittedly. But the main thing is that window is now open, so. I'm going to take it a bit steady for the moment because I don't want to get too many lines. Plus, I really need to get some more stink bombs. Because although Mr. Whacker does keep those windows open for a while, usually if he decides to close them again, I might need this. Then I might need the stink bombs, and I'd rather have the stink bombs and not need them than not have them and need them. Those stink bombs are those 3 little circular things next to the water pistol in my inventory at the bottom. You can also see I've got 5 mice. I would like to know where Eric's actually keeping those mice, mind you, but there you go. I mean, I was quite lucky that stink bombs are in a desk in the boys' school, because it means that it's a lot easier to top them up if you're running short or have run out completely. And the stink bombs will always be in the same desk for the rest of the game. However, if the desk containing stink bombs in the girls' school, it's a royal pain in the bum, because it means it's a lot harder to top up, because it means you have to wait. You more often than not have to wait until there's a playtime before you can even get into the girls' school to top them up. I mean, luckily it's not a problem if you've for the water pistol to be there, because once you've got it, you've got it. Right, assembly again. I'd better be a good boy and attend it, as I don't particularly want to get into trouble. A little bit of colour clash on Eric in that particular area. Not quite sure why though. I don't really know why there's yellow in some of those sections where the black floor is. It's a bit of a mystery, that one, because it's not close enough to the stage to be a problem there. So not quite sure what that's all about. You may remember that there were shields on the walls that you had to light up in Skool Daze, the previous game. You probably also noticed there are 3 shields in the Headmaster's study. Those don't actually do anything in this game. The shields are just there for show in this. Kidnap the school cat. And you probably notice there are plant pots by the gate, so you can actually use your... Dash, I didn't press the right button in time. Jumping is done exactly the same way as in the previous game, so you can use the flower to actually jump to get over the gate that way. Nah, she's locked. Right, that's another mouse added to my collection. See that? Did you briefly see the cupboard in the top right corner when I went over there? I didn't want to hang around there, because if Miss Take saw me, she'd give me some lines. Right, just lowered my line count a little. I may have now kissed Kaylee a maximum number of times, so I may have reached the crunch point where she will no longer do lines for me. Oh, shut your face. I couldn't turn around quickly enough. I may as well get this mouse. There. You can actually use that process with the windows that you see there's a plant pot by each of these windows. Now you can actually exit the school by... Actually, I think I'm going to go to the class, because it's going to take too long for Albert to get to... Oh, shut up. At least it's only 200 lines. I've still got... Ah, there's Mr. With It. I can hold one more mouse. Now the idea is if you run into a sticky situation while you're in the girls' school, you can actually release mice in there to keep the girls and mistake at bay. Sit down, chaps. One thing that does make me laugh is when the teachers will wipe a board even though it's clearly got nothing on it. Right, revision's an ideal time to try and get access to the girls' school. Good, the windows are still open and Albert's right there. So this now I'm going to try and use the conkers from this tree to knock out Albert. As I said, it's a bit random whether you hit him or not. It just depends on where he is when the conker actually. Yes, got him. Now he'll stay KO'd for quite some time. Now I just use this flower to exit through this open window. Do not ever do that from the. Do not ever do that from the upper window because otherwise you'll just fatally come the closest you can get to dying in this game. So hopefully your mistake will think I'm still in the boys' school. So yes, her cupboard's open. So I've released those mice to keep her at bay. Right. Now I actually need to use them. I actually need to use the bike to get back over the gate this time, and just put myself onto the saddle to. The reason being, because my water pistol now has sherry in it, hence the magenta colour. So I'm just going to show you. No, don't want them. See, look, I can no longer use it. I can no longer use it to get the flowers to grow because obviously it's sherry and it's not water anymore. The downside is now I've got to wait around until there's a class because I can't actually open this door. Right, so Mr. Whacker's coming. He's going to actually open this door. Notice how Albert's holding his hand up so I can't actually get past him. Right, now I can actually get to the class. Right. Now while I'm on the, depending on where Mr. Rocket is, right. All those cups now have sherry in them, so I just do exactly the same as I did before. And of course, Mr. Whacker's watching me like a hawk because Albert grasped me up. As long as I don't do anything naughty, he's not going to tell me off. Although I would like to know why Mr. Rocket's not sort of thinking, why is Mr. Wacky hanging around here like a bad smell? But Mr. Whacker's actually going to stay there until the bell goes. You learning anything from this class, Mr. Whacker? I sure hope so. Right. So now I've got to try and get some. Now I've got to try and get some teachers' letters for the combination to the to that room that's adjacent to the science lab. Now I'm going to be very. Oh damn it! I didn't manage to do it. Oh well. I'll see. I'll try and get whatever letters I can, and it is letters now. Oh damn it! He turned the other way. I'm not doing very well at timing that correctly. Right, that's Mr. Rocket's letter E. Just going to quickly see if Hayley's still in a cooperative mood, or whether she's pissed off with me and doesn't want to do any more lines. Oh, good. As in the previous game, you really don't want to hit the SWAT because no, I can't do it now. Right, now. See if I can get Mr. Creek's letter. Oh, damn it. No, that's too early. Oh, shut your mouth. I'm trying to. I got quite a few lines there. That's not ideal. I only need to get 3,200 more lines, and it'll be game over. As in the previous game, if you get 10,000 lines or more, Eric gets expelled. Can I quickly get Mr. Whacker's letter? I hope that's worth it. Yes! It's ideal that I've got his letter because as I said, Mr. Whacker spends a lot of time in his private quarters, so it's very hard to catch him out and about at the best of times. Now you notice that Boy Wonder's written "Who's Sam Cruz?" Now, after Back to School, Microsphere, the company that released Skool Daze and Back to School, did a game that used the same sort of engine to this game and its predecessor, in which you played some kind of a private eye. I think it was called Contact Sam Cruz. Unfortunately, from what I understand, the game didn't really do all that well, and Microsphere went down the tubes not long afterwards. Skool Daze and Back to School remain their most beloved games. So now I just need to get Mr. Creek's letter and Mr. Withet's letter. Revision. Good, that's a period in which I don't actually have to be in the library. Ideally I should be, but I don't, strictly speaking, have to be. I've just got to be a bit careful about not getting too many lines. The only downside is it'll be by the nearest fortune if I can actually... I got 800 points there. As in the previous game, if Angel Face or Einstein get given lines, you get as many points as they get lines. No, I didn't think I would somehow. I got another. Unlike in the previous game, you can't jump on knocked out boys the way you bugger. Angel Face punched me, that's why I fell on the floor just then. Luckily, Boy Wonder isn't here, so all I've got to do is stay facing away from Angel Face and he can't deck me. Good. Playtime. Might be able to get myself a few letters here. Well, Boy Wonder, if you don't know who Sam Cruz is at the moment, then I very much doubt you're going to find out any sooner. Now, whose letter is that? Mr. Withet. So Mr. Withet's L. So I just need Mr. Creek's letter, and then I'll be and then once I've got a clean blackboard. Of course, our friend Boy Wonder's written on all three of those. I mean, if push comes to shove, there are still the two blackboards in the girls' school. It's just that I'm getting rather a lot of lines, and I don't know if Hayley's still in a cooperative mood. As I said, you can only kiss her to lower your line count a certain number of times. And another thing to note about that is that even if you go above 10,000 and kiss her to get her to do some of the lines for you, it still counts as a fail. Nah. She knocked me out, so she's not interested in doing lines for me anymore. So I can no longer go to her to get my line count down. Mr. Withet in the science lab. So I just need Mr. Creek's letter. Talking of which, here he is. So I just got to time this catapult shot. Yes! I now have the complete combination. So the first thing I've got to do is wait for find a clean blackboard. But of course, the only clean blackboard at the moment is in the girls' school, and I can't go there now because Albert will have shut the gate. And even if I were to knock out Albert again in this I still wouldn't be able to. I still wouldn't be able to do much because my water pistol's now got sherry in it. I can no longer use it to grow the flower that enabled me to walk out the window that time. Now I just got to hope and pray that the teachers leave the boards clean. No. Well, Mr. Creek's writing on that one, so can't use that one. Unfortunately, it does have to be a clean board. Right, this one's been left clean, so P-E-L-I. Right. This door here should now be open. Yep, there's the frog that I was telling you about. Luckily, the frogs are not as nimble as the mice, so it's a lot easier to catch them. Now I just got to hope and pray that my next class isn't going to be in the science lab, because the likelihood is that Einstein will snitch on me and tell me that I was the one that wrote on the blackboard, and on that occasion he would be right. So I don't need to do anything more with the cups. So, well, not the cups in the boys' school anyway. So just got to get this assembly out of the way. Then, as next play time, I just got to get on that bike and put that frog in the cup in the kitchen of the girls' school. As I explained, there's a shelf. There's an upper shelf in the kitchen of the girls' school that has a cup on it. I've got to use the bike to give me enough height to be able to put the frog in that cup, and then I've got to knock the frog onto Miss Take as she passes underneath it. But that'll have to wait until playtime. I've got a class in the yellow room, I'm not going to be a naughty boy for the time being, because I've only need to get 2,600 more lines and it's all over. So the yellow room is this one here. Got 400 points there because Einstein got told off. Now I just got to sit and wait. This really is a great game, and yeah, the game came out in 1985. That same thing could happen in the previous game as well. Sometimes Einstein got told off for telling tales. Sometimes he'd be lucky, even if you're, even if he was telling the truth. Right, so now it's playtime, which is just what I needed as the Cars song goes. It is kind of a shame that there's slowdown when there's so many children on the screen. I get the feeling there are more boys in this game than there were in the previous game. And even in the previous game, there could be enough to cause slowdown. And there's no point in bothering Hayley anymore, because as I found out during the previous playtime, she's not interested in helping me anymore. She'll just clout me every time So I'm just going to use this bike to get that. Oh no. Right. The main thing is the cup is now... Oh, poo sticks. Oh no, I'm getting too many lines. No, I can't do it now. Because it's now break time over. Because I was in the school when Mistakes saw me, she was chasing me and she would have just given me endless lines, and I can only afford to get 800 more lines before it's all over. So unfortunately I just have to wait until the next playtime before I can do anything more. Hayley's not willing to do any more of my lines, so it really is crunch time now. I've just got to be really good. So what I was trying to do while I was in the girls' school was try and not knock the cup that I put the frog into onto Mistake's head. Unfortunately, I didn't time it correctly, so she was sitting on the floor in the wrong place. Why are you doing that? Because she, if I do that, then she'll give me the key that allows me to open the safe in the Headmaster's study. Because you may remember in my review of Skool Daze, you had to try and get the report out of the safe before Mr. Wack had a chance to peruse it. Well, now you're doing the opposite. You're trying to get the report back into the safe before he has a chance to realise that it's missing. I'm actually kind of scared now because I've only got to get 800 more lines and it's over. And it can be even be something as simple as Boy Wonder hitting me with his catapult. Another thing that's interesting is that you can actually sit on the stairs in Skool Daze and you can't in this sequel. It's quite amusing that Einstein's actually sitting on the exact same chair that I am. No, I didn't. Oh, at least it's only 100 lines, but it's still 100 lines I'd rather not have had. I didn't hit him. When did I hit him? Yeah, of course, because Mr. Creek's off screen, we can't see the questions. But luckily in this game, the content of Mr. Creek's classes isn't absolutely crucial to gameplay. It was in the previous game. So, assembly time again. Oh, yeah, I've just looked up about the Sam Cruz game that Boy Wonder writes about on the blackboard sometimes, and it is indeed called Contact Sam Cruz, and it was the game that Microsphere released the year after this. So Contact Sam Cruz came out in 1986, and it like this, it was only released on the ZX Spectrum. Unfortunately, the game was to be the last game that Microsphere would ever release. In 1987, the company went down the tubes. It's a shame, really, because both this and the previous game are cast iron classics. Right, playtime, just what I needed. Those boys are impatient and trying to go out. Come on, Albert, hurry up and open the door. Thank you. Of course, now you've got to wait. No, she's just not interested in doing my lines for me anymore. Come on, hurry up and open the gate. Thank you. Now, I just got to be really careful how I do this. I can't be too close to mistake, otherwise she'll see me and give me lines. I'm just going to get it. Oh, sod off, Boy Wonder. Right, just got to time this correctly. I think I've got it. Yeah, the frog fell on her. The frog fell on her head. So as you can see, I've now got a second yellow key in my inventory at the bottom of the screen. That is the key to the Headmaster's safe. Oh gosh. So that safe that's in his green room up there. That's what this key opens. Oh, shut up, you absolute baldy bugger. No, I'm going to stay back and gradually edge towards him as he heads towards the door, because so he'll still have his back to me. On to the next year. So I've actually completed Back to School. So now that I've actually completed the game, I think I'm going to wind up the review there. So hopefully Zypho, whom I mentioned in my Skool Daze review, will also catch sight of this and be intrigued by it, and also know what to do in this, just like he was curious about what to do in that when the game was suggested to him on one of his live streams. So graphics, just as good as they were in the previous game. They're nice and clear, full of character despite being quite simplistic. And the addition of the girls and the girls' school and so forth, and the additional characters like Albert the caretaker there, nice touch, and the ability to go outside. A little bit of colour clash at times, which isn't quite as imaginatively designed as it was in the first game, but it doesn't affect the gameplay adversely, so I'm going to be a bit more lenient about that. So as you can see, everything's now reset. The bike's now rechained to the Conquer tree. So sound pretty much the same as in the first game. You you get the usual things like the bell and that famous every time you get lines, which is exactly the same as it was in the previous game. So sound is just good as in the first game. It does its job, and gameplay. Perhaps it is I mean, the only real. It's got some of the same gripes as the first game, where people like Angel Face and Boy Wonder can do naughty things in front of you and get away in front of teachers and get away with it. Whereas if you do that, or even get knocked out while in front of a teacher, you're the one who gets the stick for it and gets lines. So, and obviously with the additional things you can do, there are extra controls, but really, given that you know the most of the controls from the previous game, they're really not. Taking on the few extra ones really isn't that much of a chore. One thing that is a bit of an irritation is that the manual in the original inlay does not say that you press K to kiss Haley, or whatever you decided to call her at the start of the game. That's another slight glaring omission. But ultimately, the game's every bit as good and enjoyable as its predecessor. But I think I'm still going to give the game the same score because of those aforementioned flaws and the fact that it takes noticeably longer to complete the game due to the increased complexity. Whether that's a blessing or a curse will be entirely up to you. But ultimately, yes, this is an enjoyable game, and if you like Skool Daze, then the likelihood is that you'll like Back to School as well. So give it a try. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that review, and as I said, hope Zypho was watching this one as well. Texie88 out.